So yes guys, that's exactly what I've been doing. Those of you that have looked at my sneak peek on Twitter in the lead up to this video will know that I have actually been camping one boss in an attempt to get a really good time and improve on my time over the 4-minute 42 that I've had for about a year now as my Araxxor record. Now I've actually found a really able and willing duo partner in Nikon, a good friend of mine who I've been PBMing with since raids began. So we got acquainted when raids began, and now we have brought our friendship to the next level in attempting to go for the sub 3 minute Duo Araxxor record. Now I'll talk about how you do this and the methods that we use, which have been fairly successful so far. But before we get into it, something I want to say is that you realize one thing very quickly, and that thing is that small changes to gear actually don't mean anything. In fact, they mean very little in the context of doing speed kills, because speed kills are all about skill. You need to do everything in at exactly the right time if you want to get it, and also you need the RNG gods to be on your side. So the setup you see here is very variable depending on your particular skill level and your particular preferences. But having said that, it's important to get the basics right. I actually recommend taking a Nihil. In fact, yes, if you are going for the sub 3 minute kill, it's probably definitely required. But to start off with, you can definitely take a yak until you and your partner get into it and sort of work out exactly what to do, so you minimize the amount of food you eat. I like to take 2 Phoenix necklaces and 2 great gunkins because these are the highest healing foods in the game. The Phoenix necklaces obviously prevent you from dying when you are probably using tendrils because tendrils are very deadly. And yeah, the rest of it's pretty self-explanatory. Let's get into a kill now where I can explain what's going on. This kill is actually going to be the record kill that I've got so far. It's nowhere near what I want to get, probably 1 minute off my target, but it'll do for now. So let's get into it. I actually got this record quite early on in the attempts that we did. So this was using a yak. Obviously you can get much faster if you use a Nihil, but our RNG has been terrible. So the first thing you do is you anticipate like we did here so that your cocoons don't damage you too much. And basically just use an adrenaline pot and use a couple of thresholds. If you use an adrenaline pot, you can afford to use 3 thresholds, but you still have to wait a minute no matter how much DPS you do. If you get it done to 0 with 30 seconds left, you're just going to be sort of running around or trying to tank it. There's no point in doing too much DPS, but generally get out 2 thresholds, aim to get out 2 thresholds, and then build up to 100% with around 30% of the time left on the top. And then use Natural Instinct. Keep using Anticipation and Freedom, but use Natural Instinct now so that you can Death Swiftness at the start of P2 so that you can get the max deeps out, you and your partner. Now, once you Death Swiftness, when the web burns down, you want to phase it to phase 2 just after he uses special, because then you have the max amount of time before he uses his first special attack in P2, which is always the egg attack, the fireball attack. So this is when you want to get out max deep. So snapshot, rapid fire and tendrils, and then just tank the egg. And then once the egg hits you, you want to get one person going, luring it, phasing it to phase 3, which here is my friend Nikon. While I still do DPS, the HP is amazing. There's almost 0 already. It's just 1 minute 35. Can be much faster of course, but we still need to improve. And then you also go along with him while DPSing. By this time he should have gone past and phased it, and you guys can stay here and DPS. This phase is our hardest one so far. It's where we're not too sure what we're doing exactly. We know that we need to use thresholds all the time to get it down as fast as possible, but we're not able to get it down as fast as we'd like. And this is also where you want to use your P-necks if you have them, because you're going to get absolutely wrecked by the spiders. If you're lucky, there'll only be 1 set that spawns, and if you see the spiders, they spawn in 10, and the first set, it's always the 5th wave that has the mirror back in it, and in the second set it's always the 4th wave, if that makes sense. So the 5th wave had the mirror back that's spawning alongside it, So you can keep, if you have this in your mind, you can keep DPSing until the 5th wave of spiders spawns, so you don't have to get off it until the 5th wave. And then when the second set of spiders spawn, if they do, it will always be the 4th wave that has the mirrorback in it, and so on. So just kill the mirrorback as soon as possible, DPS as hard as you can, ignore everything, stay close together and keep your HP high. Now you're going to P4, you want to get 100% adrenaline going into P4 if you can help it. And once you get into P4, your objective here is to death Relentless and get up to 50% adrenaline before Araxxor even spawns fully. So attack the spiders if you can. There weren't any here, this is a bad kill in that sense. So this, if you lure the Araxxor, you see the spiders just west of us, they should have actually come over and you should have been able to attack them, got your adrenaline up to 50%. And generally speaking, in this phase there shouldn't be any minions spawning. What happens is that Nike usually shatters and I tendril and snapshot, that gets it down to 50k in about 2 seconds, and that prevents any minions from spawning, and then we just rapid fire to finish off the kill. It's fairly straightforward, but it takes a lot of practice to do, and we need a lot more practice. This is one of our worst kills, just we had decent RNG. In the other kills we've had terrible RNG. Things have gone wrong so much, as you can see here. Sometimes you just gotta accept defeat. This was a beautiful cleave, just beautiful, in sync, everything was perfect, as if we were ballerinas, both of us. But other times it can be quite annoying. So you're DPSing away, killing them, pulsing, thinking it's all done, and then the mirrorback spawns. Somehow you manage to survive it and get cocooned at the same time in P4 when you could have got a really good kill. Just watch that time over there. But then it ruins everything, and then you get your rapid fire out at around 40k HP. That should be your target, by the way. Get your rapid fire out just before 40k HP, and you're DPSing really hard, thinking you're doing great, and then it spawns another mirrorback, which you can't really do much about, and you die. That's how you lose kills, that's how you get frustrated, and that's called bad RNG. Just look at the time on the clock here, guys. Just 2 minutes 55 when we went into P4. 100% adrenaline, doing everything perfectly, attacking the spiders on the other side to get our adrenaline up to 50% by the time Araxxor spawns. Everything's perfect. But then something happens. What have you noticed? What have you noticed? There's a pulsing spider underneath Araxxor. This actually happened 3 times to us. 3 times. And that just keeps healing Araxxor. You can't attack it unless it moves out like that. It just doesn't, you can't attack it unless it moves out. And this is the most annoying glitch you can get. That just completely ruins the kill. That was our best chance at a record, and it was completely ruined. Now this happens here again, not saying this was a great time or anything, but you know, it's still happening, and we can't attack Araxxor because, well, we can, but it just keeps getting healed until the pulsing decides to come out, and it doesn't come out. And by this time we are engulfed by spiders and the kill is probably lost. You gotta put up with a lot of failures when you're doing speed kills, especially when the acid spawns under you and your partner decides to keep attacking Araxxor, thinking they could tank the acid when it has 22k HP left. But you know, we failed the kill anyway because I just got comboed out. So you gotta learn to accept failures like this and move on. The phase that's been letting us down mostly has been phase 3 mainly. Sometimes P4, but we can't really help P4 on this rotation. I'll explain that later. But in P3, generally speaking, we haven't been lucky in the sense that it's always spawned the spiders instantly. I mean, if there was a kill where it spawned the minions a bit later on, we could have done enough deeps to kill it before it spawned any minions, and that would have given us the best chance of getting a speed kill record. However, this hasn't happened until this kill, and in this kill it's actually happened. It's actually taken ages for the spiders to spawn. We haven't done enough deeps, that's our own fault, but we have had the chance to finish it off before the spiders spawned. As you can see, it's already at 40k, and that's when the spiders spawned. Now it's always a 5th wave that the pulsing or the mirrorback spawns, so that's 4, I believe that's 5. So the pulsing spawned and we're just attacking it, and yeah, if we stick together, as you can see here, if we stick together and we're around other spiders, that will reduce the damage that the fireball does to us, and also increase the damage it does to, and also kill off a lot of spiders. Now it's almost dead here, and what you want to make sure you do before it dies is to make sure it's out of the tunnel, it's not in the middle of the tunnel, number one. And number two, make sure your adrenaline is at 100%. I'll tell you why. Because if your adrenaline is at 100%, you can get up to 50% by attacking the tons of spiders that are just there, just across the bridge over on the west, in the main area of killing Araxxor. Now if you do this, while you're doing this, make sure you brew up and then restore up, so that your overload will take effect. While you're doing this, you can get your adrenaline up very quickly. As you can see, when I right click the spiders, there's quite a few of them. Usually there's a lot more. I've done kills where there's a lot more. There's so many spiders that you can just get your adrenaline up to 50% before Araxxor is even attackable. And when this happens, when she is attackable, one person does shatter, the other person does snapshot and tendrils. Now we were very unlucky in that it spawned the minions instantly, and that means we basically didn't have a chance of getting the fastest kill. But I did hit a 12k with tendrils, and I believe he also did a good shatter. Maybe he's taken a bit long. The 19k shatter, as you see, and then just when it's about to hit 40k, you rapid fire. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. Just slightly off there. Almost was able to rapid fire, but it doesn't matter. Once it spawns the minions, it's going to spawn a pulsing, and sometimes it'll spawn a mirror back, and if you keep attacking while the mirror back's there, you're going to basically kill yourself. So that was a problem here, but we know what we're doing, we know the best method. We just need to wait until path 1 and 2 to be able to execute it. So my goals for the future are: 1, make sure to do it in path 1 and 2 when path 1 and 2 is open, which will be tonight. So I hope to stream this tonight, depending on whether or not my friend Nikon is online. There I died, which is classic of me. I didn't get a pet. I did die at the same time as Araxxor, so I didn't forfeit my pet chance. But yeah, the goal over the next rotation, this tonight hopefully, as I said, is to get a sub 3 minute kill. And the reason this is most likely to happen when path 1 and 2 are open rather than when path 1 and 3 are open is because when path 2 is open, the first thing he does in P4 is not to spawn the minions. He will absorb the acid. That means we have a bigger window to get him down to 50k. So when we get him down to 50k, that's when he will not do any specials, so he will not spawn any minions. So as long as I snapshot and tendril and my partner does shatter, we will be able to get it to 50k almost certainly if we have good RNG. And once that happens, we can just sort of attack it and kill it off, rapid fire, and it should be dead, and that is our best chance of getting a 10-second P4 and finishing the phase off and getting a record. So hopefully that happens in the future, and we get a sub 3 minute kill. I'll let you guys know when that happens. Still got a few things to learn and speed up our DPS, but so far I think we're doing pretty well. Maybe I should get the Reckless aura to get better deeps, but I prefer the Sharpshooter aura because it's more reliable in my opinion. So yeah, that's our goal for the next few days. Hopefully my partner logs on and I can get that sub 3 minute kill. I'm really happy with the fact that I've got a 3 minute 47, and yeah, I hope you guys learned quite a bit from this video. Give it a like and let me know what you think. Give me any more tips that you can, and I will see you guys in the next one or on the live stream tonight. You absolutely what, mate? What the hell is this madness? Why is it attacking me? Why did I just get hit at 2k? I just came in and aggroed on me, and my friend managed to lobby thanks to me, and it just disappeared. Wow.